is currently being brought to you by Zetagrid, Australia's award-winning provider of on-demand IT infrastructure for businesses that want reliability, speed and flexibility.
Welcome back to The Buzz. You can join us. You can join the conversation just by tweeting #TheBuzz. We can see those tweets. We'll actually read out a selection of them right now.
Well, look, a lot of viewers seem to think they've been Nickelback rolled on the program. Look, it was a parody. It wasn't Nickelback, so we figure it's probably, was worth some airtime. And Jason does love Nickelback. He fought tooth and nail for that song. Carl thinks we should call the show The Fuzz, not The Buzz, because of the fuzz.
A little bit offensive. I try and shave as close as I can for you guys.
Apparently, Avant Financial says Crikey is as unbalanced as the ABC, and I guess that's because it's left-leaning, so it depends where you sit on the fence. And Karma thinks that Jason should wear that onesie. She's very much looking forward to it.
Oh, see, I shouldn't have put it up as an option, should I?
Well, you should have, and you should wear one. I think that's...
Okay, I will wear a onesie at some stage before the end of the season.
We should have a fancy dress episode.
All right, let's do that. You in a mohawk, I think that's something I'd like to see. No? All right, Candice, you in a mohawk is something I'd like to see. No?
How much money you got?
When you say mohawk.
This is just not working, is it? Nobody wants to play my game.
Yes,
by the way, just before we go to Candice,
what?
I want to do a shout-out.
Oh.
Go on then.
Elizabeth, Jennifer, William, Catherine, my little kiddlywinks.
Oh.
Hello,
Oh,
how you doing?
I can see you.
Family show.
I'm inside the TV.
Sorry, go on, Carl.
All right, my mistake. Now, Candice, you're going to tell us something about Snooki Coaster. I'm a big fan of Snooki.
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 Isn't that chick, that little orange Oompa Loompa from Jersey Shore?
Hot little Oompa Loompa.
No, I'm talking about the Peanuts cartoon, Snoopy. Snoopy Coaster is a new game which is doing the rounds at the moment, and it's got a little bit of nostalgia factor to it for the adults. It's certainly one of those games which is trying to bridge the gap between kiddie games and giving something to the adults as well. So I've had a bit of a look at it. Basically, the concept is you're on a roller coaster and you kind of got to prevent you and your friends from dying by jumping and collecting as many coins and kites and all sorts of things as you can. Now, it is, as many games on the iPhone are, completely controlled by your fingers. And but it really doesn't get much better than this, if I'm perfectly honest. Yes, you can collect little balloons, but it's just lacking a bit of excitement for me, if I'm perfectly honest. It's got all the characters and...
Are there any in-app purchases or anything to make it more exciting?
Well, you can remove the ads, which is one thing. So you can purchase a full version, and you can also purchase
No guns?
No guns, but you can purchase little zoomer-uppers with the coins that you sort of collect.
Killing's good.
Yeah, you get kind of 3 different little lives. You do, and this is the kind of bit I like. You can kind of make them a bit sick if you make them go around in circles.
Do they actually chunder?
Well, I haven't seen them actually chunder, but they certainly go a little bit green, and they don't like you too much.
Oh, that's
so you can kind of see Charlie Brown's not feeling very well there.
Yeah.
Definitely lacking something for me, I feel. I'm going to give this one a buzz factor of 2 out of 10, but by no means the very worst app I've ever seen, though here is the very worst video clip I have ever seen.
Goodbye to the people who hated on me. Goodbye to the people who loved me. Goodbye to the people who trusted me. Goodbye to everybody. Now I need some changes in my life. Now I need to move on in life. Now it's time to say goodbye.
I would buy that album.
I think you already have it, don't you?
Can you get it on iTunes?
I would imagine you could.
That's brilliant.
Is that work? I've seen Courtney Stodden's videos, and they're pretty
much
terrible.
like that as well.
Same sort of budget.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, speaking about beautiful people, like the guy in that.
Beautiful people.
Yeah, beautiful.
And Courtney Stodden.
Beautifulpeople.com. Are you a member?
Yes, I am.
I almost am.
Yeah.
You're not a member. You're a bloody liar anyway. Take a look at my iPad right now. Now you can see here. There's just a generic photo of me that could have been taken while I was just walking down the street.
That's a poser shot.
That's a pretty fancy photograph there, Jordan.
It's not.
You've put your professional.
That's just a normal. Anyway, you can see what you have to do for beautifulpeople.com is you have to apply. So you create a profile, you put a photo up on there, and then for 48 hours, everybody votes as to whether or not you can become a member.
The beautiful people already on there.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
So you
as
can't
you can
get your
see,
mum to vote for you.
No, you can't. So with that, I've got 16 hours left of people judging me, and you can see at the moment I'm being voted in. So I'm going to be a member. A few people think I'm beautiful.
Have you got to be above 50%? Is that what the thing is?
Yes, that's right.
That's a pretty low standard of beauty, really.
Some people say, you're okay.
Good,
you've got to be average to get in. Well done.
There's a few people who said no. And there's a few people who said absolutely not. Now, I'm a little bit concerned about that. But anyway, the main reason I'm joining up is because there's lots of really pretty girls on there.
One of those ones that said absolutely not. He looks like he's going to...
Lots of... But the main reason this has come up is because beautifulpeople.com has decided it's time to move from just being a dating site and become a recruitment site.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea.
Because clearly employers only want very attractive employees.
If I was an employer, I'd want to house my company with beautiful women.
There you go.
They'd get dirty making weapons and tanks and stuff, but, ideally they'd have a
You don't think that is in some way discriminatory?
No, I think it should be encouraged.
Right.
I think it's counterproductive. If you surround yourself with beautiful people, you're all of a sudden going to look a lot uglier.
Oh, it's the fat friend idea, eh? The wingman. Is that what we're talking about? But Candice, you've previously worked in other forms of television.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe one of the reasons that you got the job is because you're a reasonably attractive female?
Oh, what? As a short brunette with little boobs? Yeah, it was really easy to get into television.
Oh, she's angry.
No, it was. I certainly wasn't hired for that reason.
If height was an issue, Angela's son wouldn't be on TV.
Oh, look, she's a beautiful girl.
She's beautiful, but she's about 3'6".
But I like to think that I'm hired for what I got in between my ears, and I think that smart lasts a lot longer than pretty. So I'm quite happy with what I've been given.
Yeah. I'm glad you said between your ears.
That's right. That's the reason we hired you for the buzz, because you're smart. Between the ears. There we go. All right, Candy, back to you again now, because you and we're going to do something pretty intimate.
Oh, well, I always wondered what you'd look like with my luscious locks, and I always wanted to know what I'd look like with your hairy neck. So...
My man boobs?
Yeah, sure, why not? While Paul was being beautified by our lovely makeup artist, Jen, I downloaded this app called Face Swap, and it is a free app with in-app purchases, like a lot of the other apps we review here. And like it says, you can swap faces in a photograph. So here's a photograph that we took earlier, and if I click this swap button here, you can kind of see that it doesn't work.
That is dreadful.
It doesn't work perfectly.
It doesn't work at all.
I've kind of got half of Jason's glasses there, and he's kind of got, half of my necklace.
I do look good in your hair, though.
It looks like a car crash.
It's a great colour for you. I think that this app could be made a lot better.
It could work?
It could work for one. I have seen photos where it has worked legit when I've been playing with this at home. But if you could somehow manipulate the faces yourself or nominate the areas to swap, then I think it would iron out a lot of these bugs. The free version means that anytime...
Oh, that worked. That's much better. That looks really good.
Anytime you share the photograph on Twitter or Facebook, or if you export it in any way, it does have a little watermark on it, though if you did upgrade to the paid version, it is going to take that watermark right off. So I don't know if it's worth it. I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 10 because it is free. You pay peanuts, you get monkeys, but it is something for free and something fun to play with. So we're going to say cheerio to this app now, and we're going to say a big g'day to the Cheerios ad, which has caused a bit of controversy.
Mom.
Yes, honey?
Dad told me that Cheerios is good for your heart. Is that true?
Says here that Cheerios has whole grain oats that can help remove some cholesterol, and that's heart healthy.
Do you know why that ad is considered controversial?
Because there's a little girl spilling cereal everywhere and Dad didn't get her to clean it up.
That's exactly right.
Oh,
slack! But apparently we're wrong.
Oh, really?
Because apparently the controversy about that ad is that it's an interracial couple.
And they're not in bed together. I know.
Well, and they've clearly got a child, which means they've...
She should be in a room, Mum and Dad.
That stuff.
Is that what?
So, and in America, people are very upset about that. Well, some people. So what's happened is they posted it up on their YouTube channel. They got about 600 comments before they shut the comments down because there was a whole bunch of bigots and racists and dickheads, quite frankly, saying, oh, you can't have a black guy and a white woman.
Here's my theory, because you know I'm big on theories. How about maybe that it's not that a group of people are outraged by this interracial couple. Maybe, just maybe, there's a whole bunch of 14-year-olds who are just trolling on the internet going, oh, interracial couple, just so people will get fired up and outraged.
Do you think 14-year-olds are really like that? Aren't 14-year-olds less bigoted and less racist?
I'm using that as a term in my own kind of age. Discriminatory.
But you don't think, I mean...
But you know what I mean.
Neo-Nazi groups or something.
No, just idiots.
Right.
No, just people who like to get a reaction out of other people.
Do you think maybe Cheerios was well aware of the controversy that this would create, and that's why they've done it? Or are they reflecting accurately 14% of the American population, which are interracial couples?
I'd like to think they're just generally being reasonably altruistic.
Right.
I don't think it's a good ad. And there's no point at all made of the fact it's an interracial couple. It is what it is.
It is.
It doesn't even say that they're a couple, so I think even jumping to that conclusion
I wonder when the first time we'll see an Aboriginal in an Australian cereal commercial.
Good question. You remember years ago there was an interview on 60 Minutes with an advertising executive about why we don't see families of Aboriginals sitting around the table eating Tim Tams, and they said, well, because the Australian public wouldn't accept it. So
who knows? We're interested in your thoughts, though. Use #TheBuzz to let us know exactly what you think about that. Is it racist? Are we racist? We're continuing that conversation.
Shut up, Whitey.
Right, Turkey. I know we talked about it a little bit earlier in the show.
Oh, we did, that's right.
Things are getting pretty nasty over there at the moment. President Erdogan. Yep, very upset because the people are not doing what they're told. There's this big green area in the middle of the capital city where he's decided he wants to build a shopping centre and a mosque.
Yeah.
The people don't appear to want that.
Okay, so it's like Elizabeth Quay, except they're a bit angrier about it.
It's a bit like building Elizabeth Quay on Kings Park.
Right, yes.
Well, so, it's a public space that people know and love, and it's a former army barracks, from what I understand, but has become this peaceful, beautiful place where people can hang out, and all of a sudden it's going to be sold to corporate interests and developed. I mean, the mosque, not so much corporate, but shopping malls, you know, taking over this beautiful green space. So the people aren't too happy about it.
Is that such a big deal, though?
Well, it is for them. Okay. And we don't know what motivates them. But suffice to say, the reason this has become such big news is that there's been so many people protesting. We're talking about 40,000 people crossing just one particular bridge to go and protest.
Yeah.
The violence by the police has just been unbelievable. There's been a video doing the rounds on YouTube, which we don't actually have for you at the moment, but we probably couldn't show it anyway, which just shows the most unbridled violence.
You could show the first half, because I watched the first half and it didn't actually look that violent.
Oh, no, it was violent.
I'm not saying the second half isn't, but the first half wasn't. I wonder, though, is this just part of the general kind of social upheaval we have, especially in Europe at the moment? We've got riots in Sweden, we've had riots in London, we've had carry on in France. In Sweden, I'm going to say that again because big deal. Is this just a carry on from that? Are we seeing social unrest in general and people just getting upset about stuff they normally wouldn't get upset about?
Are we seeing little conflicts that really wouldn't have been very big at all, except for the fact that we've got Twitter and Facebook, which inflame the situation,
and a large group of unemployed people or underemployed people who are now angry about something can rally with these things and form a bond that maybe they feel they're not getting elsewhere.
And also, the world can know about it a lot quicker than it previously did.
Yes, absolutely true. All right, when I actually asked my wife to marry me, I did it in Polish.
Okay.
Even though I don't speak Polish. I did it on Christmas Day. It was incredibly romantic.
Yeah, sure it was.
But I think it probably would have been even more romantic had I had a pair of Google Glass.
If you were my queen, I'd buy you 1,000,000 castles. Let's start our adventure together. Will you marry me?
Yes. Of course I will.
Perhaps the most romantic thing I've ever seen in my entire life, Paul Cook.
Like, you're speaking really fast because it's nearly the end of the show, and I think proposals are getting a bit over the top and stupid.
Right, okay. Candice, is that how you want to be proposed to?
Hell no. Cal, if you're watching, avoid special holidays, avoid birthdays, and avoid doing anything like that. It's stupid.
That is stupid, absolutely. And anything that looks like a musical. Where are we going now? Are we doing tweets or are we talking about...
We're talking about who we should be following. Okay. Who have you got for us first, Candice?
All right. The first one we kind of touched on earlier in the show. It's @crikey_news. They do have a presence, and quite an active presence, on Twitter, as well as the website, which Paul reviewed earlier in the show. The next one I have for you is @slowfood_Perth. Now, they're a little bit hippie, a little bit greeny, but they do have some great information information about some of the lesser known places around town. And at history_pics, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. These capture good and bad, prominent moments in history. Well worth a look.
Well, there we go. Look, the credits are rolling already. As always, we've got more content than we have time. Can you find any?
Have we got any lovely tweets there? Candace and her Nana co-presenting apps and stuff. Bring Nana in.
Bring Nana.
What an
Candace,
awesome
can you do
idea.
that?
I can ask her.
Yeah, let's bring Nana in.
What do we got here? I would start watching Game of Thrones just to see what all the buzz is about for that last episode. Game of Thrones, isn't that about toilets?
You know what? Enough. I want to say thank you to Zetagrid for sponsoring us. No more stuff about Twitter. We would like you to continue the conversation by using #TheBuzz on Twitter. We will read those out as they come in through the week.
We'll read them on the way home.
Thank you, cast. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next week.
Next week!
The Buzz, Australia's only live, interactive social media program on free-to-air TV, was proudly brought to you by Zetagrid, Australia's award-winning provider of on-demand IT infrastructure for businesses that want reliability, speed and flexibility.